Half a day to your Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. It is Friday the 13th. The Imperial Pacific Casino has been open and running for a few months now in their new location in Garapan. But one thing that isn't new is the lack of taxes imposed on IPI. And two community members say enough is enough.
The casino since day one has been the only casino in the history of the world that doesn't have a casino tax assessed to it.
Glenn Hunter, community activist and small business owner, is in favor of the Imperial Pacific Resort and Casino being taxed and says our leaders are cheating the people of the CNMI by letting this large company slide by with no taxation.
Our leaders again have once again shorted the people of the CNMI by not assessing a tax.
Now, the casino does pay the BGRT tax, which stands for the Business Gross Revenue Tax. Every company in the CNMI pays that. What Hunter and others in the community are asking for is a gross gaming revenue tax based on how much the money makes through gamblers.
On average, across the world, it's probably in the neighborhood of about 35 to 40%.
Hunter isn't necessarily wrong. Around the world, gross gaming revenue taxes can vary. According to casino.org, the highest gaming tax is in Germany, where casinos there are taxed up to 90%. Macau, whose gambling system influences ours, taxes casinos 39%. In fact, in the first 8 months of this year alone, Macau collected more than $7.5 billion through their 39% gross gaming tax. And that's according to GGRAsia.com, who only reports on the casino industry here in Asia.
My biggest concern is that we don't know how long the casino will be here because we can't say it'll be forever.
Without taxing IPI's gaming revenue, Representative Edwin Probst says the CNMI is missing out on a lot of money.
But what I'm looking at is they've already grossed over $3 billion. Had we had a simple 10% gross gaming revenue tax, we'd be looking at $300 million in addition to the current business gross revenue tax that we have.
Imposing a tax on the casino is up to our legislators. Probst said it's easier said than done.
Some of the things that I've heard from my colleagues and others is that now is not the right time. They said that we have to let the casino, build and let them finish the hotel and all these other reasons that they come up with.
However, although there is no gross gaming revenue tax, IPI does donate more money to the community than nearly every other company in the CNMI. For the casino license, IPI pays $15 million to the government. They also pay the Commonwealth Casino Commission $3 million a year to operate. Last but not least, Imperial Pacific International also pays the Retirement Settlement Fund $30 million each year. All that adds up to nearly $50 million, and that doesn't include all the corporate social responsibility that IPI does every day.
Because of the industry that we have, it's just increased our revenue altogether.
Speaking at the Retirement Settlement Fund conference at federal court a few weeks ago, Governor Torres says IPI is basically the savior of this community.
The casino itself comes in with a ripple effect. You have the revenue, you have the casino here. What does that bring in? Other investments. Now you have property value that's increased. Now tourism has doubled, and so it's an industry that has ripple effect that brings in other revenues.
To give you a little insight into the casino taxes here in the United States, no other American state or jurisdiction has a 0% gross gaming revenue tax. And to put that into perspective, the top 13 gambling states raked in $34 billion in gaming revenue last year alone. And just as an experiment, I put a poll on Twitter to see what you all think, and overwhelmingly, majority of people on Twitter believe IPI should be taxed. And if you want to voice your opinion, you can go to my Twitter page at Riggs Sherri, just last name, first name.